Wow, it did explode. I mean, I thought there was going to be like an action, like just a straight up explosion, but no,
The words explode.
the letters blew up. Okay, I got you. Cool. All right, everybody, welcome to the day after, where you get to hear me sound just as shitty as our defense was yesterday. Joined with Dave, where we're here to kind of
Man.
take a day off, essentially the day after, and see how we feel. Talk to you guys, see how you guys feel.
We'll see, Dash. It all depends. Are you leaking out of any orifices right now?
That is classified information.
Because, I mean, things are leaky. Things are leaking in the defense. Things are leaky at German Dave's house still. His pipes are still broke, but he's getting them fixed. He's getting a new cellar, apparently, so good for you. Happy for his new cellar. Leaks all around. We got leaks all around. Vincenzo finishing the title line of Sometimes Maybe Good. So you have to tell me if you guys hear this. Dash does not hear this, but let me know. So I put a button on my stream deck to do sound bites. Let me know if you just heard Gattuso do his famous line just now. If not, I guess I'm just doing it the old way with buttons. Just normal buttons through the browser. But anyways, we have to talk.
Where do we start, right?
We have to talk. Yeah. Not where do you start? So there's the good, there's the bad,
And then there's the atrocious.
Yeah.
So that where do we start, honestly? Because it's just like I was, to be honest with you. No, he didn't hear it, huh? To be honest with you, I'm still pissed.
Are you now?
No, I'm still
You
frustrated.
are not over it.
No, I just the free kick one, that one irritated me more than the second goal, just because flat-footed. Everybody, like, guys,
2 weeks in a row.
Skamaka does not take free kicks. Coop is the one that takes them. So it's like, I saw Coop at the edge of the wall. There's only 3 Juventus players on that wall watching the free runners there. Coop was open the entire time. And I'm like sitting there, I'm like, oh my God, they're going to fake it off to Coop. And they did. And it's just like, I look at that and it's just,
It's not good.
Nobody's marking Coop at all. And Coop was wide open. And then Juve's like, oh, hey, they faked it. Oh, shit. Like, Skamaka's not hitting that free kick. I don't know why they just lined up thinking Skamaka's going to hit it. He isn't. He's not that guy. Like, even the commentators were saying, Paramount Plus was like, hey, man, watch out for a fake here, man, because Skamaka doesn't take these. And he didn't.
Yeah, it sucks. It's just 2 weeks in a row, right? What is happening? They're falling asleep back there at the set place. If this is how teams are going to beat us, you know this is how teams are going to try to beat us. Have we not practiced? Like, what's going on? There's a mental block somewhere, because you wouldn't expect Bremer and Danilo to just fall asleep.
That's something I expect Gatti to do, honestly.
Sometimes, not even all the time.
But I'm saying, compared to the other two, like, he's the one that's most prone to do something like that. And like, I don't know. Like, for me, I hold Allegri responsible for not getting these guys mentally ready. Yes, like, he needs to get these guys good to go. But at the same time, like, yes, we overperformed, absolutely, until the end of January. This roster overperformed, but the fact that these guys, like, the only 2 players that have been consistent throughout the entire season is Cambiaso and McKennie. The only 2, maybe Bremer. We can throw Bremer on there as well.
And you can even say they've all had an off game here and there as well. Like, they're not perfect, obviously.
No, they're not, but like, they're consistently performing. Like, McKennie single-handedly saved that game.
What did Pasalic say? I did not see that one.
I think it's on. Let me pull that.
You got
up.
that?
I can get it. You just got to give me a second.
Yeah,
I know he said it. I don't have it verbatim, but you just have to Give me a minute.
That's all you need, buddy. You just need a minute. While you're doing that, now is a good time actually to hit the like and subscribe button if you have not done so already. And my usual pitch, get into the Discord where everything fun happens, all the shenanigans, all the F1, all the wrestling, the American hand football, everything. Everything's down there. Maybe some games. Trying to get some Hell Divers going. I know a couple of us have it. We've got to play some Hell Divers. So get in there. And KB extending his lead as well in the prediction thing. And guys, get in there because you can win. I'm going to do the duck so you can see the jerseys. And I'll just speak up to my mic.
That's a terrible duck.
Like this?
You're just like, eh. It's like I'm an old man that I can't bend properly.
Well, it was a little awkward. But if you win the prediction league, you get your choice of one of those jerseys up there. So KB might. Somebody's got to stop him because he's winning the F1 fantasy as well. So somebody stop this man.
He's taking it all.
All right, Dash, what do you got?
All right, so he says we were ahead, so there's a bit of regret, but the point there, of course, we came to win, but also not to lose. Juventus is a good result. We lost that match. That counted a lot against Bologna, but we had to recover points. Before their break, there's another important match against Fiorentina. We'll think about it after Sporting. The goal is a pattern. Today we succeeded, and we're very happy to get a draw. I think that's everything. Am I missing something? That's the quote that I have.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that is it. Maybe just the fact that they're playing for a draw. Yeah. I mean, most teams, other than maybe Inter, Milan, but most teams would come.
Free kick. He says
Yes,
the goal,
sorry.
it's a play that we often try, but we never succeed because our opponents are prepared for it.
Oh.
And kind of like what I said. I'm like, I could see that. I could see that watching the game, and I said, that's a fake to Coop. It's a fake to Coop. And it was a fake to Coop. And I'm just super frustrated. The second one, I can't be too mad because Jim Sheety absolutely threw that ball on a peach like it was nobody's business. Like, that was a really good pass from Jim Sheety. But the first one...
It was a fun game from a neutral perspective, that's for sure.
From a neutral perspective, yes, but like as a Juventino, I just...
We're so done with it.
Well, like, I mean, two players that I'm going to really just, I don't want to say put out to dry, but just kind of hold accountable is Locatelli and Chiesa.
Oh, they've been fighting.
I know that.
We should actually touch on that.
I'm not going to go on the stretch and say, like, as Frankie's saying, I don't think Loca's the worst midfielder that we have, but it's just, this is where I have some frustration with Allegri and the board, where it's like, you can't tell me with full confidence that you think Locatelli is the answer at the 5. I don't see it.
So who said this?
Oh, people right now on Twitter.
This is just people. This is
is people. This is people. No. Yeah, it's because the whole thing that Locatelli told Chiesa to F off or F you on the field or something like that.
Oh, I was gonna use that as my first F bomb, and you just G-rated it.
Ah, well.
Ah, you bastard.
Damn it, cock. There we go. Yeah, like all the Chiesa stands are sitting here saying that he's trash and blah blah blah.
Vlad's numbers. I think we want to save the numbers for Wednesday. Do we?
Which ones? The goals.
The Kostic Chiesa comparisons. You want to tackle that tonight, or
that wasn't really much of a number per se. That was just more so. I don't think he gave us numbers, did he?
No. There were heat maps and there weren't hard numbers or anything. I don't know. When do we want to have that discussion, tonight or save it for Wednesday?
we can talk about how Chiesa hogged the left wing again, left Milik on an island to die.
Yeah, he did. And Milik did not have the speed or the outlet. Like, he had nobody to pass to, and he didn't have just the raw speed to blow past his defender, like a Holland could possibly do, right? In that same situation.
Yeah, you guys want to see the guy that can't play on the left wing because Allegri keeps him from the left wing? You want to see that guy's heat map? Here we go. Bam.
Oh, he's got the heat map. Beautiful. And this is slightly lighter than the previous weeks. Like, sometimes there's a whole lot of red blob over where that small red blob is.
No, for sure. But again, the issue is like, dude, I don't want to hear anyone tell me that this guy doesn't play as a left wing. He's an exclusive left winger.
He's been playing left wing.
He's been
which
playing
is
it.
screwing over his wing back. And that's what the discussion was about Kostic, is that ever since Chiesa came back and got regular minutes. So we'll present it now, and if we want to readdress it on Wednesday, we'll do that. Let you guys ponder on it. Is it Kostic's fault that Kostic sucks? Or is it Chiesa's fault that Kostic sucks because Chiesa just hogs the left wing back's positioning and then leaves the striker out to dry?
That was the German Dave conversation, right? German Dave.
Yeah.
And Vlad. I think
And
we
Vlad.
spoke on it as well.
Yeah, and neither one are in the chat currently, so I don't really want to steal their thunder. So we'll present. We'll just have that idea, guys. Think about that, and when those two are back in and can really get their juices into the conversation, we'll readdress it.
Yeah, it's just for me, like, my concern is right now is like I'm starting to get concerned that Locatelli is going to become like a Ricardo Montolivo. Like, you know how Milan had Montolivo, where it's like he was young, oh my gosh, this guy's amazing, awesome, and then just kind of was mediocre, like a Jack Bonaventura. Like that's where I'm starting to feel about Locatelli. I'm not saying that Locatelli's ass.
Yes.
No, don't get me wrong, right? Like Locatelli's like a solid 6 out of 10, 6 to 7 out of 10. He's average.
Oh sure, no, he is, and you do need somebody like that. He does provide a certain, and this is really the problem with the midfield explicitly, but the whole team suffers from it, where it's the team chemistry. He is somebody that needs to work within a midfield three that's balanced, that he can go to his strengths and his weaknesses are covered by the other two, and vice versa with the whole trident of the midfield, right? That's what you want. I believe if he's in a nice balanced midfield where he's allowed to play his style, which you would argue is an 8, not a 6. I think you do see a lot more from him.
I think so, because he. Go ahead. Sorry, I cut you off.
But yeah, just to finish up, the fact that he is playing an Allegri regista and he's serviceable out at it, like that's still, yes, you can say, and he's not a complete player. He fails that position. I would say is like he's doing his goddamn best and playing the team game, and that's a lot more than some very high profile players on that same team.
That's playing on the left wing. So, and that's a fair argument, right? That for sure, Dave. Like I 100% agree with the argument. This is where I kind of turn my attention a little bit to Gintoli and Allegri as well, and Gintoli too, where it's like, could you have not gotten a cheap rental to play regista? Like, was it that difficult to do something like that? Like, I'm not expecting like a Jorginho, Coop Miners, or anything like that in January. That wasn't it. Like, could you have gotten someone that can play that position instead of Charlie?
I like this from Churro. Montolivo was good on iOS FIFA 14 because Apple people have to say that they were on the Apple product, because there's a difference between the Android version and the...
No, I remember Montolivo had like...
I'm just calling out Apple people. I don't care about Montolivo. It's like it's the same lineup in all the versions. It's not like the Apple version is any more special, except that it costs you an extra $1 or $2.
Yeah, and like that's the thing with Montolivo. Montolivo was like that guy that was, the Locatelli hype, and then it just never panned out. He just was average.
Yeah, like
same thing with Bonaventura. There's nothing wrong with that, because you need that's a blue collar worker. You need a blue collar player, essentially. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm not dogging on him for it.
Let's look at blue collar workers, because I think that's a good theme that we should touch on. Despite the team drawing, I almost said lose because it feels that way in a sense. But which players are we celebrating right now? Cambiasso,
McKennie, 100%.
Yes,
McKennie
those
deserves,
two.
McKennie deserves a contract. Out of all the players on that roster, McKennie deserves.
And there's news of that his dad was in the stands on Sunday as well, so might be happening. Now we're celebrating the blue collar work. Is that not what Locatelli is doing? Again, out of position, not to his strengths, but that's very blue collar, right? Like a blue collar worker, he might be working on the assembly line, working on widgets. But Buddy goes down on the other assembly line making knickknacks, and boss is like, you got to make knickknacks today. So you go and you make the knickknacks. That's Locatelli.
My issue with it, Dave, is that he is in a role where he needs to conduct the offense, and he's letting
Yes.
Bremer drive up the field with the ball, and you should never let that happen.
No, and that's what's creating.
You're letting Sandro drive up the field with the ball. You're letting Gatti do
Yes.
that.
And
And you
Locatelli is essentially playing a central defender.
Yeah, and he's shifting back because that to me tells me from the body language that he has no confidence in doing that role. You need to like for example, and that's where I'm like, okay, look, and I'm perfectly fine. Like for example, if he is not that guy, I'm fine with it. There's not an issue with it. My issue goes to the Juventus board and Allegri where it's like, okay, have Locatelli hold down the fort, but let Hans Nicolucci develop that role. Let him get the skill set and the confidence to play in that role.
Yeah,
Or
which he.
why send out Berenachea if you needed that role to be filled, right?
Well,
It,
Nicky C isn't ready. I think we
no,
see that.
he's not, right? He's not. For sure he's not. But this is where I have my gripe with things because it's like you're the guy that's supposed to conduct, but yet I see you hide behind your center backs 50% of the time. Because, like, for example, when Pjanic was on the roster playing that deep lying holding midfielder, bless you and your nose, Pjanic was taking the ball. He was orchestrating it. He was commanding the ball. Bonucci wasn't commanding it. Chiellini wasn't commanding it.
Okay, well, you know what? I kind of want to pivot on this because we can
Okay.
argue all day on what Locatelli is and what he is not.
Yeah, I just again I want to illustrate. I'm not saying
No,
that
no,
he's trash. Like
no, no. Of course not.
I don't want to paint that narrative. He's kind of like this next comment. He's the jack of all trades. It's just for me from a long-term sustainability, you need a better solution because
You
he's
do.
just not that guy.
No, and you do. And we just found out that all of this money that we did get was just to cover costs. We covered that last show. So, you know, it's cool to have an opinion, but do your fucking homework because
Oh, sure. No, I'm just kidding.
no. I'm talking to like the internet world here, right? Just the general hoo ha there on the Twitterverse. That okay, we got all this money. You're like, oh, why aren't we spending the money? Well, this is why we're not spending the money because there's debts. Now, I don't know how you run your household, but if you want to run a successful household, you don't run debt. Okay, maybe a mortgage. There's certain debts, but like
Unless you live in the States, debt that shit up and depreciate it over time.
okay, I'm talking in like general
I'm just messing
through
with
the
you.
states. Don't live in the states anyway. Listen,
I'm just strangling your balls, man.
the fact of the matter is you have to look at what the stats are, what the actual information is. So Gentoli wasn't able to cook anything off yet. He made a bit of a desperate bid for Charlie, which is only going to cost us 4 million, which is a lot for a loanee that's now injured. But when do you want this magic to happen? You're just going to sprinkle your fairy dust over the whole situation and things are just going to fix themselves? No, they take time. So what we have to do is allow that time to happen. Now, if the only better thing that you have to do with your time between now and June is bitch on Twitter, you need to get a fucking hobby.
I
Because
don't use that anymore.
you can't use what?
I barely use it.
Fuck. Get a different hobby. I don't know. So, no. The fact of the matter is I'm still seeing this Allegri out shit, and you know who you are, because I called one of you out today. Stop that fucking shit. We're supposed to be bringing the community together, especially if you're a content creator. We're not here to be like, oh, this fan, that fan. But I am going to come out here and say those fans, those people that continue to just trash on the club. It's okay to be upset. It's okay to have emotions. But if you're just going to go out there and say Allegri out, what are you, a fucking 12-year-old girl? Like, oh, Allegri out. I can't think objectively for myself because I'm a fucking lemming. That just Twitterverse is all goddamn day because I can't fucking have a goddamn mind of my own because I'm a fucking piece of shit 12-year-old. Like, fucking wake the fuck up, get your head about you, and think about the situation. Again, be upset. But you're breaking the whole... It's like that asshole that puts an ad up on New York there. What's it called? Times Square. Like, what are you trying to accomplish? Sitting there and bitching at stuff all day accomplishes nothing. All it does is make everyone hate you because you're a piece of shit. That's all you're presenting to the world, is that you're a piece of shit and nobody should spend any time with you because you're a negative Nancy. So step aside. If you want to act like that, go root for Napoli, because that's Napoli. But we're fucking Juventus. So bucket the fuck up. Let's get through this and let's look at things objectively. Because yes, things are bad, but things aren't that bad. There's things to work on and things take time. You have to let the management do what they can. You have to give them the money first. The money isn't even there. Like you think Gentoli would have taken this job if he didn't know that he wasn't going to have money for the first transfer market or two? No, these are all things that are planned. This is a mega corporation. If you think they're just doing shit day to day like you do on Twitter, then you're a fucking idiot. Because these things are planned out years in advance. These companies have 5-year, 10-year plans. And you're just like, oh, spend the money now. Wake the fuck up. Anyways, I know it's not any of you guys here, but if any of you assholes do drop in, wake the fuck up.
Damn, Dave, you just literally just put strays everywhere, and everyone's just like,
I'm like, what do you say fuck me for?
Here, the other one's like, hey man, your cock's hanging out, buddy. Just.
How about that D, baby?
Oh man, that's hilarious. That's awesome. Look, and that's the thing, right? Like for example, if you can come up to me and Dave and say, look, I don't want Allegri on this roster. I want, this different change because, A, B, C, and D, and you bring a valid point, that's fine, right? You can have that argument. We're not saying that you should never think Allegri out, right? No, you're entitled to that opinion. However, what, with actual deductive reasoning, at least back it up, right? Like, for example, if you're going to sit here and tell me I need Allegri out because Federico Chiesa can't play on the left wing, I am going to slap the ever-living shit out of you with heat maps, courtesy of German Dave, because he also has those too.
Yeah, he's loaded up with that.
I'm pretty sure German Dave has a framed picture of Locatelli flipping Chiesa off. I guarantee you that. But for me, because again, I'm looking at this objectively, my only question, my only concern, my only question that I have with the coaching staff, not just Allegri, from the technical developer, Landucci, all the other people that are inside the system itself. Why hasn't there been an alternative to the 5? Right? That's my only question that I want to just ask, right? Why hasn't there been something that we've looked at and said, hey, let's try this as a 5? Some people might, lose sight of it. Why not have maybe a Danilo? Why not try an experiment with Gatti as the 5? I'm not saying that's the best idea. Gatti's had experience as a center defensive mid and is coming up, essentially. Right now, with Locatelli, it is not working properly. There is an issue there.
Mm-hmm. And that's where you can argue switching. Yeah,
yes.
That's your problem. You can argue in that regard.
I'm not going to sit here and say, oh my gosh, Locatelli's a bust, he's dog shit, and not give you... My only concern is this, right? My question that I want to have. Because, like, for example, hey, we needed another alternative to Chiesa. We need someone to play a little bit more centrally. In came Yildiz, right? Yildiz did that. I'm not sure. Maybe Yildiz said some stupid shit on social media and got himself benched. For fuck's sake, I don't know what the hell happened. I don't know why he is benched, to be honest with you, because it seems like he is. But right now, because... And I had this conversation with German Dave about Coop after the game. Coop, and I want people to understand about Coop miners here. Coop miners is excellent in the third phase of the game. The third phase of the game is from the opposition's 25 to about their 6-yard line. Third phase of the game.
To be fair, he's playing as a striker, which is where you want him to be good.
He's playing as a third phase player. He's playing as an offensive 8, where it's like, even if we were to purchase Coop miners, yes, he makes the midfield better. However, Juventus's current issue off of their style of, not even style, but off of their pragmatic play is the first phase of the game. We do not have an orchestrator of the ball.
Well, that's where Jorginho comes in, right? You get Jorginho cheap, and then you splash on Coop.
I guess, right? In a fantasy world, right? If everything goes the way that it was, just like I wish the Lions free agency would go today, because the Packers are signing every single fucking player imaginable. Jesus, Green Bay, you got butthurt that Detroit beat you, that you have to sign in the entire free agent market? Go get some lube for your cheeks, man. It's starting to irritate the hell out of me. But
just get better.
Clearly, I mean, Brad Holmes just doesn't want to spend money. I swear, Gentoli and Brad Holmes, same kind of guys. Build through the draft, don't sign any players. But anyways, my point back to it. Even if we were to sign Coop or Lazar, those guys are excellent in the third phase of the game. The issue that Juventus has had since 2019, the end of Pjanic, even Pjanic's last season, is that we are struggling with the first phase of the ball. They're being called the Packers for touche. We struggle with phase one right now. We don't have a player that can take command of that first phase, orchestrate the pass, move the ball, and accelerate the ball. Once we have something like that, then you'll start seeing things to progress. We need multiple. You need two profiles for the midfield. You need that sexy 8, and you need that solid 5. Those are the two big things. I'm not worried about the forwards. I'm not really worried about the defense, to be honest with you. Despite the defense playing poorly, I'm not too worried about that, because if you have a solid 5 and a sexy 8, that takes, especially if you have a solid 5, that takes away the pressure from your defense.
The problem that we've talked about too is that which solid 5s are solid 5s in the first place and are available, affordable, all that nonsense, right? And Jorginho has honestly been on that list for a long, long time.
I would look, for me, if we don't get him in the summer, I'm not going to lose my shit.
But I think he might be a good opportunity.
The time that I will be frustrated in the board is if they don't make a play for it, if he's available.
Yeah, like if he just goes to Milan or Inter because he's over 30 for reasons.
Well, and not even that, right? Like if he signs an extension with Arsenal, like if
Would you think he'd stay at Arsenal?
he could, I mean, hey man, they're competing.
Yeah, I guess.
on all fronts, but
yeah,
here's the thing about it, right? Because it's like, for example, I just need, you can take any 5. You can take a 5 that's not doing well in their system and bring him in. Take for instance, Granit Xhaka. Xhaka was terrible at Arsenal. He was, disciplinary issues, really aggressive with the fans and the players. Goes to Leverkusen and is absolutely on fire.
but then you have Arthur, who doesn't do well. You have Renato Sanchez, who just continues to disappoint.
Renato Sanchez is not a regista.
He's not, but he was one of those profiles that he was supposed,
Our
because
choice-
like you're saying, you can take these people and do it allegedly, but not always. Some of these guys do fail.
I never viewed Artur as a 5. He just seemed like a very slow 8. Like even at his peak at Barcelona, he just wasn't. I don't know. I never saw it. When I saw that we traded for him for Pjanic, I was like, ah, fuck.
But it goes back to that same thing, like who is actually a 5, right? The true regista is like a dying trade. It's gonna die off with people like Jorginho, because which young profile right now plays that?
To be honest with you, I'd have to look it up.
Yeah, like there's no name that like snaps to your head, and if there is a name, is that the name that Juve need?
But
And that's just it's just a problem with this style of this Italian style,
Well, and it's like the same thing, right, with Amrabat. I don't know the full story on Amrabat and what's going on, right? But like Amrabat was a regista at Fiorentina, really solid. Went to Manchester United. I don't know how he's doing over there because I don't like to watch Man United.
Man, I don't think
you don't, like I'm saying, you don't need to get like the most sexiest option out there, right? Like you just need an option, because right now the baseline of what we have from 5 play is nothing. It's non-existent. Because
14 appearances
for Man United.
Yeah, 28% of the minutes, 28% of the starting 11. So not much. I didn't think he was playing much either.
I'm surprised he took that move to Man United. That was so stupid from his
He's a bench player now.
Because, like, for example, even so, KB says Fajoli. Fajoli's technically not a 5. He's not a 5. He's an 8.
And that's the thing. We look at Fajoli and like, oh, he can play regista, but
no, he's a slow 8. He's a more technical Artur. Because, like, even in his Primavera days, he played left wing, a cam, and an attacking midfielder.
Now this perhaps transfers into conversation of do we play with a regista? And maybe this is another reason to move on from Allegri, because if Allegri needs a regista and the regista does not exist, it's like the Chupacabra at this point. Like he's out there. He's the guy on the Discovery Channel looking at footprints in the snow, tracking Chupacabra. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. But the problem is, in Serie A and Calcio, there's always, all your big teams have registas. It's just like a thing in Serie A. Like you have to. Pioli has it. Inzaghi has it. Napoli, even though they say they don't have it, they have a center midfielder that orchestrates.
And you look, some teams obviously doing it better than others. Inter would be the prime example.
I mean, Chanalogu converted from a cam to a CDM.
And that's the point, is you have to convert him. It's just that this guy turned out to be a world-class player, and as he got a little bit older, he had the intelligence to read the game, move back into that position, and play a little bit slower but a little bit smarter. And he's killing it. He's absolutely killing it.
Yeah, and it's just, that's the thing, right? Like, that's bring back Zakiria. I wonder how he's doing, to be honest with you.
Nobody cares. Well, I shouldn't say that. But Changalolu, they got lucky with him.
Well,
That he was able to convert like that.
Inter have had good registas for like almost the better part of 8-9 years with Brozovic, Chanalogu, and then now with Aslani. Like they've had like 3 damn good registas. Like I think Aslani is going to be really, really good.
He's got 20 starts for Monaco and 3 in the cup.
He's playing center back. That's what German Dave says. Yeah, and then Vinny saying Fajoli is maybe a Costco Modric, which that's kind of funny. Because like for example, you look at that Real Madrid midfield. Casemiro was your 5, Modric and Kroos were your 8s. And Casemiro was able to facilitate play to Modric and Kroos. But the problem is with us, we can't copy that model because the guys around the 5 aren't Modric and Kroos, right? Because, like, for example, as much as, we appreciate Rabiot, he's not that creative. He's not silky when he dribbles. He runs like a horse. That's why we call him the horse.
Yeah, I mean, again, he's good at what he does, but another player that if he was in a more complete system would be able to really exploit his strengths.
Yeah, and my concern is that, right? Like, for example, if we don't solve the 5, Fajoli's going to look bad when he comes back. It's not going to look good for him. We need Costco slaps, and all you need is protein. That is the true solution to all of the world's problems.
Costco protein is so trash, though. It doesn't even mix. It comes out all clumpy. It's gross. But I can tell by the picture that Dal needs extra proteins.
But, like, for example, this is something that I could see us do, where Real Madrid plays the double pivot with Camavinga and Tchouaméni, because Kroos and Modric are slow, they get beat out, you open up to a counterattack. So now, when you have, for example, an amazing attacking midfielder in Bellingham, who that guy, in my opinion, is like a striker at this point with how amazing he's been up front. And then you have Camavinga, who is Locatelli-esque, but I would say better than Locatelli currently is. And then Tchouaméni, who is your bona fide 5. And then you have Camavinga that can play an 8, a 6, and a 5. So air quotes Locatelli, but French. And then you have a Jude Bellingham. So, like, for example, with us, think of it in Juve sense here. You would have Coop Miners. Let's just say the transfer window goes, everything is planned. You'd have Coop Miners as your Bellingham. Then you would have Rabiot or Locatelli. I would say more so Locatelli as your Camavinga. For the sake of Coop Miners and Jorginho, I say Rabiot doesn't get extended and he leaves. That's my scenario.
Oh yeah, and they did talk about that too. That you're not having a salary of Sandro now. You're maybe selling on a couple youngsters, and yes, you might save that 10 million a season that you would have been paying Rabiot, for instance, right? So there's a bit of money that's opening up within the system. Like we're not talking about the money getting injected from the investors. This is just doing the business end of things. So, and I know I'm backtracking a little bit financially, but if the parent company has enough money to cover the debts of the child company, they will sometimes just pay that debt so they don't incur more debt, thus costing the parent company more money in the long term. That's essentially what happened. This money now is money we'd get from selling, say Sule, money we're saving from not having Sandro. Sorry, tangent, but I think it should be said.
No, you're good. And that's it, right? Like, there's going to be a bunch of players that we're going to be moving on, different assets that will be freeing up. This oncoming summer, they have to solve the 5. They have to solve the 5.
Does settling the 5 mean firing your Allegri and get somebody that doesn't need a 5?
Well, if you fire Allegri, you still need a 5.
But
doesn't-
that true regista that we're talking about.
If you give Allegri a true regista, he wins you the Scudetto.
Probably.
putting it
So
up.
Jorginho. I'm saying Jorginho's your only option.
No, it's. I mean, he's,
Find me somebody else.
The one that I would prefer. Yes. Is he the only option? No.
No, okay, but he's the realistic option that would perform, we believe, to the standard that we need to.
Yes, he's experienced. He's experienced in Serie A. He's been in Serie A for a while. He's also played at the highest stage of football. He has seen complex defenses. He has seen English defenses. He has seen German defenses, Spanish defenses. He's seen it all. Locatelli's barely played against Spanish teams. He's barely
That's
played
true.
against German teams. He's barely played. Say what you want about Jorginho, guys. Jorginho's competed with the best of the best.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he has a terrible penalty shot. And I
Absolutely
hope for the love
horrible.
of God, put in his contract clause that you do not take penalties if you come to Juve. I hope that's the case.
Yeah.
However, here's the thing about Juve players currently. Chiesa's the only player outside. Yeah, Chiesa, Bremer, Danilo, Tech are the only ones that have really played the best of the best.
This
Air
is
quotes on
funny.
Bremer.
This is funny. And this kind of says it all, right? We got to bring this up. I'm opening up FBref.
That's nuts.
That's
I don't
rough.
see it. To be honest with you, I don't see it.
I mean, it's not entirely dissimilar.
It's not.
It's like how Top Gun 1 and Top Gun 2 were different movies, but the same movie.
Yeah, Top Gun 2 was significantly better.
Oh, just the videography that like the first one was done in 1986, man,
yeah.
and it was still fucking amazing. Fuck you! Don't hate on Top Gun.
The music was better in the second one. I'm just saying.
come on.
Danger Zone was the only thing. They did that anthem justice when they redid it. They rescored it for the second one. And you had Tom Cruise like begging the Navy to let him fly a plane just for them to tell him no.
But, they were both great. The second one was probably better. I'll admit it probably was better, but don't hate. Don't hate. Oh, I'm looking up the wrong Jorginho, apparently. Which one do I need? Man, FBref is a crap. There, I got it. Okay, got the right one. I'll share this. There's so many Jorginhos that have existed.
So many Jorginhos are everywhere. The Jorginhos are everywhere.
And why are they all Brazilian? Okay, so
Gee, I don't know the name.
where do I have to go to get the compare? Is this it? Player comparison?
Yeah. Holy shit. Zubimendi's 60 million. Damn, that position is not cheap.
What? Okay. What? Jude Bellingham? Like, okay, where are you looking? Where do you get this information? Because he's compared to Jude Bellingham, which is definitely that's like the opposite end of the midfield, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't know, man. Throw a link or something down in the Discord. We have Dusan and Milik for penalties. Yeah, Dusan should be the number one.
Yeah, I'm hoping if Jorginho were to come to Juve, I hope they're like, yeah, you're not taking penalties, Jorginho. Like, sorry.
He hasn't killed all attacking talent. I think that his style of coaching in the offensive phase isn't conducive to certain strikers.
It's the same thing as Thiago Motta. Xerxes is their highest scorer at 10, or Cellini has 9, Ferguson has 6. It's a balanced approach where everybody gets the pie. That's the same thing previous Allegri's teams have been. Same thing as that. It's not a killing of an offensive player. It's a more well-rounded approach. Because when you get Motta, it's going to be the same exact thing. And then people are going to start saying, oh, gosh, this Motta guy's a flop. I'm telling you this. When you play with a pragmatic coach, offensive players become more balanced, well-balanced around. Like, as far as assists, contributions, the whole thing. It's how it's always been.
The intangibles, like the hold-up plays, physicality. Yeah. And Zubimendi, yeah, 60 mil. And that's the thing, when you do have a profile that's coming up like that, he's immediately 60 mil.
It's an expensive position, but it's so crucial if you have a good one.
And yeah, if you can, get me the link. Is there a link for that comparison? I want to see that.
Yeah, if you have a good Registo, life becomes so much easier for you.
And Dave going back, Hamilton will cost him. Dave Exer pumped everything on him, like 89 million per season. I think kind of like Ronaldo, they make that back just in merchandising.
Yeah.
Easy.
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
I can see the Motorheads buying Hamilton Ferrari, especially the Brits.
Oh man, they will absolutely.
Some Ferrari today. I mean, absolutely awesome. Hamilton is there, just like Cristiano Ronaldo.
There's what, like 50 million people in Italy and another 50 or so in England. Like a quarter of each population is buying his shirt. You know, like
wait, there's shirts for Formula One?
Yeah, I actually have one. It's a T-shirt. I'll start wearing it when it's warm because they're super expensive because they're licensed as fuck, right? So a T-shirt costs you like $80, 80, $90.
Is it like a polo or like an actual crew?
It's just the team T-shirt, like what the pit crew would wear or something.
That's so
like the
funny.
official team shirt. Like it's technically like a jersey in a sense.
Oh, I thought you were gonna like talk about like an actual like Hamilton race suit. I'm like,
no, a race suit. Yeah, I'm gonna wear like a fire retardant race suit around town. Like fuck
do
yourself.
it. Are you kidding me? If you and German Dave did
They're
that
like
from
thousands of dollars.
Just go on Wish.com or Mercari or something like that.
An F1 race suit worth?
Just get it from Mercari or Wish. You and German Dave just come in with like Ferrari like suits or something like that. I'd die laughing.
Jesus
It'd be
Christ.
so funny.
I would never wear it. I can get like my wife's motorcycle jacket.
Welcome to the live stream where we wear the shirts of the actual racings that we are watching today.
Okay, so Lewis Hamilton 2020 replica racing suit, $1,200.
Share that boy.
Okay, just get rid of the stupid cookie things first. I will not allow nothing. All right, cookies are out of the way. I'm assuming this is going to be American dollars.
What is this, eBay?
TheGPBox.com.
I can't believe they actually sell that. I was like dicking around.
Max Verstappen signed replica for $800.
That's actually hilarious. Like, what? Look, this is me being ignorant, but like, who kind of sits there and just pulls that on and says, "Yeah, I'm just gonna wear this in public."
Oh no! I don't think people wear that in public. It's like how I put all my jerseys up in the wall and shit.
Ah, I see.
Like the only thing I actually wear are those hats.
Oh,
I like those hats. They're nice hats. But like everything
nice
else,
hats.
I don't even touch. I need new ones. I found out which ones I like. There's a certain like this. It's the SK93 Pro. Will it focus? SK93 Pro. That's the line of hats. That's the money right there. Anyways, we totally diverted.
Yeah,
Bring it in, guys. Bring it in.
Everybody's like, "Oh fuck, they're talking Formula One. Let's get off." But kind of segueing back to this, right? It's been a terrible March and it's been a terrible February. The one win against Frosinone, it's just not something that you want to see happen.
Let's pull up Milan, bring an unknown freestyler to be our savior, or you can be Atalanta and take the one that failed at Milan and now is pumping off at Atalanta in Ducateller. Because that also happens.
That was an interesting thing, right?
Yeah, because they hyped him up so much. He didn't really kick off last year. He goes to Atalanta and he's doing pretty good.
Yeah. But the one thing I kind of want to illustrate with Allegri killing attacking talent, right? Right now, Dusan is your lead scorer at 15, Chiesa at 7, Rabiot at 4. It's because our other players can't be offensive that you have to put all your eggs on the Dusan basket. That's not good.
No.
Bologna's offense is way more balanced. Way more balanced than ours.
He's at the gym.
He has
Dan,
different moves.
what job? You're not going to start a job at Specsavers, are you? Because I heard that's pretty big in England.
He's going to work there with Hamza. That'd be hilarious. Ooh, we got Carr. Carr's here.
Oh, yes, he makes an appearance. Well, Puma's a German company, so I'm assuming a German company, such as Puma. Does like Puma not make their own, or they must?
Puma?
Yeah, they just badge
is
it.
Puma not Italian?
No, it's Puma
Swiss?
and Adidas are from the same town in Germany.
Wow, that's wild.
They're from the same family, the brothers. Adidas means Adolf Draxler. It's like a traction of his name, and the Draxler brothers.
My life is a lie.
Yeah, there's like there's a whole thing. They like one side of the town like there's a river that goes through the town. One side's Adidas, the other side is Puma. And it's funny because the mayor has been known to like show up at public events with one of each shoe on, just not to piss people off. So there you go. You can actually go there and buy the original Warren. Okay, yeah. I'm sure they go through a few suits a season. They're not keeping all of them.
I would assume so, right?
Yeah, Gaetano, how's it going? Especially if they catch on fire. Don't leave, Jesus.
Oh.
Jeez, he's so sensitive. Yes, that's what we've been going on about, Dan. Yeah, just show me the money. Yeah, no, Puma. Yeah, that does make sense. Puma doesn't just make like race suits for the F1. Honestly, well, we're not with the Turn Giants anymore, Gaetano. What could I say? And it does have a meaning for like Juve fans, but when you're just generally talking to people, they don't get it, especially English speakers or like non-Italian speakers. And then Italian speakers don't even know what Turn Giants is because it's an English footballing term. So let me just tell you, if you make a channel or you brand anything and you go and you talk to somebody about your brand and you have to spell it out for them, you fucked up. If you have to sit, they're not going to remember. But D&D, how do you forget that? Right? So I'm not saying this is like the greatest brand in the world, but...
yes, he is. He's being...
Well, no, it's David Dash. It's what it is. And the other problem with Turin Giants, it sticks us to Turin, to Juventus. Whereas now we're talking F1, we're branching. It allows us to attract a broader audience, let's say. It's not that we're forgetting about our roots, but we want to be able to bring people in from just around the globe, from different interests, different teams. Because we have people, Barcelona fans, Manchester fans, that show up once in a while. That's more of what we're trying to get, right? Instead of just being in our own little echo chamber of Juve fans that think a certain way, we just kind of want to open up to the world. So... Nike is greater than Adidas. I don't
know about that. I like Adidas shoes better than I like the...
I don't like Nike at all. I like Nike hats, actually. It just depends what it is. Honestly, it just depends what piece of clothing it is. It's a new retail store called B&M. I will be working for as a cleaner supervisor role. Nice. B&M. Department store? B&M. Wallpapers, curtains, furniture, toys, vacuum cleaners. It's everything.
D&D sponsored by B&M. Sounds like a really something really kinky and gross.
So here's a bit more history. A German moved to Italy when Schumacher started racing for Ferrari and opened his company there and started producing for Puma because Puma wanted that Ferrari rub.
That makes sense.
Dal's agreeing. This name is much more diverse and brand friendly. Yeah, which is why we moved away from Double D, because we figured that, okay,
sounds
that rubs
erotic.
That rubs some people the wrong way.
It's erotic.
But yeah, thanks everyone anyways for sticking through the rebrand and all that nonsense. It kind of came at an inopportune time with Juve also doing like shit, so we've just been sitting here in the water hoping for things to kind of like clear up and get back on the horse. But no, I mean, it's just, we understand. The ebbs and the flows last season was rough.
Oh yeah. Last season's summed up in a 6-second clip.
That was the Twitch.
That was and then like the comments of
You just wake up and then your heart is just pumping. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, so those moments are crazy.
There we go. Vlad's not even watching.
Yeah, he's not even
here.
here.
He's just sit there and be like, I demand my Lukaku clip. Shout out to Vlad. Vlad and Dave do German Dave.
Yeah, you guys are you guys. You got Frankie dropping a bunch of stuff there. Man, who else is always hitting off? KB. Man, I'm just scrolling. It was a lot of Vlad and Dave today. A lot of that. Goose, can't forget Goose. He comes in at weird hours because he's working in Germany right now and doesn't stay up till 3 a.m. like Dave. Yeah, there's just like you come in every so often. It's just like Dave Vlad, bit of Goose, KB dash Dave Vlad. That's the chat today. But it's good. It's good. Like when it's active, can't keep up. Can't keep up. It's good. Your Twitch era was the funniest, but also the hardest to watch. Oh, so you did watch. I wasn't sure. It's hard to.
Yeah, I think that's where German came from. Was from.
Is that
Twitch.
where we got you?
It was him and
Ellie. I know
Ellie,
Ellie. Yeah.
and Dan too.
We're not laughing at your job role. We're just kind of laughing at the company and like how their description has like toys and vacuums in the same sentence. It's just
That just sounds very dirty and erotic. Poison vacuums.
yeah, it's funny. It's a funny one. That's why donuts rock because everyone loves donuts. Yeah. So KB his video game. He plays the old PS games, some other stuff. He's Donut Vanguard now because everyone loves donuts, except those like crazy fitness freaks are like, donuts are bad. You need to do 25 push-ups for every bite of a donut you have. Those types, but I don't think any of us are those types here. Maybe Dal. Dal looks like he'll eat somebody's head off for eating a donut.
Dahl will eat like 15 donuts because it'll give him enough energy to get through this time. Dahl's a beast, man.
I don't know. Here he is. Are you like anti-donut or B&M is an upgraded dollar store pretty much. Okay. But what's your take on donuts? Being I'm going to say the largest, the most dense muscles in the group. Judged by your picture. The sweatshirt, yeah. Speaking of the Twitch era, this is one of the benefits. I got a couple free sweatshirts out of the deal.
Couple push-ups won't get rid of those donuts.
Go.
It's why I gotta go 420 bench press. That'll
420 bench
eviscerate
press.
it.
Oh, you said 420. I was not thinking like 420 pounds. I was thinking like
The weed?
420. You have some weed and you bench press some donuts.
What?
just lifted that box of donuts right into your mouth. Okay, saying donuts are awesome. I was eating donuts on New Year's Day in gym whilst doing deadlifts to get motivation to all the New Year's new me wankers. Oh shit, that's funny.
So petty. It's petty, but I love it. I love it. You get this.
Yeah, that brother's starving.
Oh man, I could just see him just like one hand with a donut, one hand like curl, right? Just like
I can just imagine dogs eating the donuts while lifting. You just see all those like New Year, New Me guys just looking at him salivating.
oh shit.
Like, doll's like, what's your problem, dude? You got something? I'm just admiring your gains, bro.
Fuck, what the hell is Sarah's? Is that like Victoria's Secret? Sarah's Secret, largest romance boutique in Texas. Well, that's always bigger in Texas.
That's what she said.
Oh yeah, no, those are good thing I didn't search that one up on the live here. Yeah, there were some toys. There was some green toys. Fastest way to make the fastest way to make the gym empty fast again. Oh, just to like piss him off. Yeah, I guess that's annoying, right? Having all those.
No,
They're only going to show.
You want to know how you make the gym get empty really fast? You get a bunch of like some mediocre like Instagram some Instagram models and stuff like that. Have them set up tripods all over the gym, and anyone that looks at them, just have them scream saying, "Stop looking at me! Gym's empty." Gym's empty. Give it 15 minutes. Gym's gone.
Are you doing some Olympic Games watch along for? I'm not
no.
a huge fan of the
God,
Olympics.
no.
It depends. Well, maybe there might be something good.
What would be good though?
Is it the Summer Olympics coming up? This is how
Yeah.
much I don't know about the Olympics. Obviously, winter's done.
Like, do we just do the French because it's in Paris? So do we just go like, we got the 100-meter run, or just do something like obnoxious like that? I don't know.
No, to be honest, the Summer Olympics are kind of trash. I don't like them.
We would have to have like a vulgar commentary. If it was the Winter Olympics, we could just do like straight up poser talk for
Women's hurdles, or we can do women's beach volleyball.
As you can see here, the ball's absolutely bumped off the cheeks then. Large emphasis on the cheeks. Absolutely spiked it right into the double Ds. Goes out of bounds for a play. Point for Great Britain over here. That's like, you'd have to have a twist on it. I think that's the only thing that would be funny for it. I mean, also
Gaetano's
you've got
back.
the Euros too.
Caetano's backtracking. He says it's awesome. No, we're kidding, of course. Thank you. No, it's actually German Dave made that logo. So props to German Dave. He made the old logo too. We've gone through a couple iterations, but we're sorting it all out. When we get flag football at the 2026 Olympics, that would be fire. That is happening, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
None of the NFL players are playing in it. Like they're actually playing.
because they're real football players. Not maybe we should cover flag football just for the vibes.
That'd be funny as hell.
Just like what Nicaragua versus North Congo Republic or whatever the hell they're called.
That would actually be fun. I'm not gonna lie, covering flag football would actually be fun. It's like we gotta like just have like some cheap ass beer just so we look like a bunch of like American goobers, just like, all right, we got ourselves a quarterback. Absolutely taking that, drives in deep, throws it into the top shelf corner, caught there, taking it to the 5, to the 15. Oh, she just got knocked the fuck out.
Here's a proper Englishman. Rugby sevens is Olympic football. You know, rugby. It's only because the NFL is American why it's so big. If for whatever reason rugby was injected into like the American psyche before football was, for sure it would be better. Rugby would be like the biggest sport in the world if that was the case. But
Lions,
it's not.
Lions just received Carlton Davis from a trade from the Tampa Bay Bucks.
Speaking of American hand football, there you go.
God damn it. I swear to God, if I
Is that good or bad?
no, it's not good.
Okay.
We gave them a third round pick for a player and two other picks. That's not a good thing.
Well, sucks to be Detroit.
Yeah. All great offense, no defense. Sounds like Byron Leverkusen. No, but I'm just kidding. Chad, is there anything you guys want us to talk about for this game?
Yeah, we man.
We're at 57 minutes.
Yeah, we did it
segued.
again, guys. We
segued.
descended into chaos.
We've gone into the absolute shithousery. For Wednesday, I'm going to have you guys in the chat do some homework. Bring up some people that you want to see in the transfer window, and we'll kind of sit down and we'll lollygag for that. Hopefully my voice will be good by Wednesday so I don't sound like a 80-year-old woman that smokes like 3 packs of cigarettes a day.
Hey, Sonny. Come over here.
Yeah, come give mama some sugar.
You know what we have to do as well is the Euro kits. We have to do the Euro kits. A lot more came out this past week. And we promised Vlad, so we'll go on about that too on Wednesday. In a bit, boys, time for gym. I feel like it's always time for the gym with you.
Yeah, him and Dave are working out now.
Totally just stereotyping these guys. Yeah, DeRossi is looking pretty good right now. Let's be fair.
I don't think he's going to be anything crazy, to be honest with
He
you.
won't. He'll taper off, but
He'll taper
he'll be like a Gattuso, hang around for a few years and
it's
go.
funny. It's funny because the Brighton Roma game was a pure example of the utmost hypocrisy of football hipsters. Oh, it was beautiful.
Isn't it? Ah, yes.
It was beautiful. I loved it. Because it was hilarious because now they're just kind of like looking in between the buttons. Deterby's a good coach or De Rossi's a good coach. You can't hit both of them. Like, oh, man. Oh, I love it.
The only thing that would be better if one of the teams was Venezia. Because their jersey last year.
He's a 49ers fan. Get this guy out of here. No.
49ers fan. You sir are correct. It's always time for the gym. Peace out. Well, enjoy. Get some swole going. Let's talk about where you think Allegri will go next if he's not it.
Sabbatical.
Yeah, honestly, I think it's that simple. He's going to the Vineyards.
Sabbatical.
Yeah, 100%. I don't think he will take. He took a sabbatical after the last one, then he just came back to Juve. He'd probably come back to Juve in the next 3 to 5 years because the guy we're going to get is going to be Thiago Motta, which is just going to be a Walmart version of Allegri. We'll see.
I kind of want that move to happen, to be honest with you. I kind of want Motta at Juve. I do.
I don't mind it.
I don't mind it, but here's the thing. My pettiness is coming out now. I want all of those Allegri out. I want offensive football hipsters, just to see Motta come in and pragmat the shit out of the squad, just for them to be like, but.
Just for the trolling.
Huh? What? At this point, can there be an actual person that can genuinely tell me that Deserby's a good coach?
He's not a bad coach.
You lost to an inexperienced De Rossi. Your argument is invalid.
I mean, that's a one-off game. Like, I don't think he's
If he
horrible.
lost 4-0.
No, that was a bad game. It was
He
a really bad game.
4-0.
No, I'm looking at like the overall. I know he's slipping a bit. He is the kind of guy that probably right now needs to be sacked and take a year or two off and rethink about things, go into a different system and reinvent himself because
He has lost all street cred with me unless he takes the Milan job if Pioli leaves.
oh no, and I think it would be a good team to manage to be fair, and I think Milan is set up that they could potentially go to his style.
Because here's the thing. If he was actually, this philosopher of offensive style, he should be able to win the Europa League or the Conference League, in my opinion, mostly the Conference League. The fact that
Yes.
he got stifled by a Roma team that had a new coach, no European experience from De Rossi's part. I don't care if people say
And
he's an
injured.
assistant.
Could we mention DiBala getting taken off injured?
Yeah. I'm just saying, man. The guy, ever since he left Sassuolo to go to Shakhtar, I knew the guy was a bum. I'm sorry, that was it.
I know you're just hating. I'm just trying to level the playing field and just be like, okay, he's okay. Come on.
When he was at Sassuolo, the first time, awesome. He was a ball buster coach. I hated Juve when they played. I hated when we played against him because he was good. I thought he was, a challenging coach. And then I'm like, you went to Shakhtar because they raised expectations at Sassuolo?
Where are Tottenham? Are they not just still like floundering in the water like they always are?
Their coach is the same thing as De Zerbi is at Brighton for Tottenham. He's like, well, it's defense. I don't know what defense is. I just put everybody forward.
That's how I play FIFA, but that's why I suck at FIFA.
I'm not a fan of offensive coaches. Because, like, for example, I'll use my Detroit Lions. Second best offense in the league. Their defense is absolute butt cheeks. If we go up by 40, we'll probably concede 41.
And I'll talk about my Leafs in hockey. They have the best offensive line for the past few years, or one of the best. Just amazing. Austin Matthews, their top goal scorer, is breaking records. No defense. They can't win. They finally got into the second round of the playoffs. There's 4 rounds for the first time since like the 90s, and then lost to fucking Florida. So, it's just that's what happens when you're all offense.
Florida's Goonies right now, though. That Florida Panthers team is just a bunch of Goonies.
That's who wins, though. The Goons. Because they're the only guys that keep on going deep into the playoffs.
Speaking of that, you have a perfect example of Red Wings. DeBrincat, Kane, and Larkin. But one of the best front lines I've ever seen on the Wings for a while. Still can't say they can't defense. They can't play defense.
I mean, that's a hockey chant. That's more basketball, I would say. But similar where it's just like defense. Like the fans actually just yell defense a whole bunch of times, and when they love basketball's a high scoring game, but the fans still there know I need to play the defense.
Yeah, that's my thing with the Red Wings, man. Bringing Gattuso.
Because my button didn't work, I will do it manually for you guys.
I would bring in Gattuso as an assistant coach. I would. I think he's
just
better
to yell
as
at
an
bitches.
assistant. Yeah.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
Sorry, just double tapping.
Head coach is good, but as assistant, perfect.
You're cutting out.
Oh,
It's okay. Nobody can understand you anyways. You sound like shit. Yeah, Tottenham are top 6. That's what I'm saying. They're just kind of always around.
They're lurkers.
They lurk.
Tottenham isn't doing any better than they are with Conte, but Conte quits when he's under pressure. That's why I'm scared of Conte, because he might go. Conte flat out told Tottenham that they're shit. That's why he lost the room. He's like, you guys are losers, and you're okay with being a loser.
Yeah, so I'm thinking Conte's just old school Italian, yells at things, and then everyone in the Premier League are a bunch of like 12-year-old girls, just like the ones on Twitter.
Honestly, I think that's a fair point. I think most of the locker rooms in the Premier League are pussies.
Going back to hockey, it's like when Babcock went to the Leafs. All those superstar young guys that score a bunch of goals, but they had no discipline, so he came in and started yelling at them, and they all cried.
Like, dude, I'm telling you, like, it's honestly, I think Premier League locker rooms are just some of the softest group of individuals I've ever seen.
I have a feeling a lot of people would have a falling out with Abramovich being a Russian oligarch. That or you're his best friend. You just have to
this
suck his
comment.
dick.
I love this comment because ever since the Red Wings put the fucking trash patch on their jersey, they desecrated that magnificent piece of art. We have not won a single game since.
You guys got new jerseys?
No, we didn't get new jerseys. We got like we got a garbage patch on there from Waste Management.
Oh, the advertisement.
I am so pissed that we did that.
The WM, the green yellow thing?
We have not won a game since then. We have not won a game since we've done that. I am
That's
so
funny.
pissed about that. I stayed up to watch the Avalanche game, and I was so excited when we went up 2-1 against the Avalanche, only to lose 7-2.
Stay up for West Coast games, man. You're crazy.
I was bought on the hype this year, especially when we got Patrick Kane, especially when Kane absolutely got that overtime winner against Chicago. I'm like, holy shit, the Wings might put some shit together here. We might have a good playoff run. And then after we put the waste patch, we lost to the Islanders, we lost to the Panthers, we lost to the Avalanche. I said the Rockies.
This is
on the
funny.
baseball. We lost to the fucking Phoenix Coyotes 4-0.
No, not Phoenix. This is funny. This is Reddit. This is obviously before they were down 6. Is that it? Just priority?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Yeah, it's like
That doesn't look that bad. Come on.
It's still
It's small.
bad. We
Yeah.
went 0-5.
Yeah, I mean, you guys still suck. Whatever.
Out of anything, just use Little Caesars. You're owned by the same fucking company.
Yeah.
I'm fine if they use Little Caesars as an advertisement, not fucking Priority Waste.
And Larkin's injured. Well,
Yeah, he is. Something happened to his back.
give up. It's time to give up, everyone.
It's like I am with Chris. Juve being ass, the Wings
Wait.
just absolutely collapsing, and then the Pistons are just absolute dog shit. You want to know what the Pistons are in 3 seasons? 70 and 227. They've won 70 games, lost nearly 230. It is in the last 3 years. That is how bad this basketball team is.
Well,
And the
72
fact that a fan called out the general manager.
That's
and
more
the
than
general-
3 years.
I don't know.
That's
I can't-
300 games. They play 82 games a year.
I can't do math.
That's like 5 years, man.
I still have this head cold. I can't do math. The fact that the general manager had to get into an argument with a fan because the fan said, "Bro, how do you have a job?" I've never seen the guy that owns the Pistons, Tom Gores. I'm convinced that he's a lemon. I'm convinced that this guy's a lemon. I'm serious because he lives in California. I don't understand how some dude from California is like, fuck it, let me buy a basketball team in Detroit because why the fuck not? Because I'm from California. I just do stupid shit because that's a Californian thing. No offense to the California listeners.
No, screw
But,
those guys. Do we have any? It's too
I don't
early.
know.
It's too early the time we come on.
But it's just like, holy hell, man. I can't. I can't.
This is awesome, though. Chris is going to Buffalo for the game tomorrow. Nice. Very cool.
Oh, that's dope. I'm going to watch it on TV. And hopefully that's, I don't lose my shit. And it's like, I trust Steve Yzerman for the Wings. Don't get me wrong. I trust him. It's not like I'm sitting here and Yzerman. Building a hockey team takes a lot longer than any of the other sports. But if you're able to build it correctly, it'll last you a decade.
Chicago through the 2000s, man.
Yeah, Chicago essentially took over Detroit when Detroit fell off. Chicago became the team to beat.
And then
The one team that surprised me on their ascension was the LA Kings from 2011 to 2018.
the problem there is that everyone in California was good, and they were just all beating each other up.
Yeah, San Jose was cooking.
Anaheim's cooking.
Yeah, I think the best era of hockey was 2005 to 2015. In this current generation, I still think 90s hockey was the best.
I wish I was alive for 80s hockey. I technically was, but I wish I was watching 80s hockey and understood what light beer and cocaine meant.
Translation: the Chicago Bulls. The season was just a battle for a playoff spot and not make it. That's where I'm irritated. Where it's just if we don't make the playoffs, that's just to me is just terrible. It's terrible. I'm not saying it's just we have one of the best offenses in the league, and it's just our defense besides Sider can't do shit. It's just why? We finally have a first line that's actually really good, but now it's just Larkin's gone, and then now what do we do?
Go play for the draft pick.
We Betterman fucking hates Detroit when it comes to the draft pick. You know how many we've been
Betterman.
the worst team in hockey.
You're adding syllables again. It's just Batman. He said Betterman.
How
He's
about
not a
fuck
better
man?
man.
Fuck man. That's what he is. Every time, the last 2-3 seasons, the Wings have had the worst, and I can't believe I am totally turning this into a Red Wings rant. But fuck it, I'm going for it.
Dude, let's look at NHL standings while we're at it.
The Wings were the worst team for the last 2 years in the NHL, and the highest we've ever drafted was like 6th or 9th. Because we can't win the lottery for shit.
Oh, you're too high up to go for the draft pick.
Even when we were bad, Dave, look up last season. You just hit the drop down arrow. One of the worst teams in hockey. Picked 6th or 7th.
He's got too many points. You had to go really bad, like Montreal. At 68. That's a bad season.
I'm telling you, because I'm 100% convinced that the NFL draft lottery is rigged. There's no way, unless they were to do it in front of us and pull the balls out right then and there. But like,
You never know.
we have
for
not.
Sure.
The Red Wings have not had a number one draft. We have been bad since like 2016 ish till now. We have not had a number one pick since, and we have finished with the worst record 2 to 3 seasons.
Hey, this is awesome. Frankie says, since you guys got me to F1, my dad has now started watching because of me appreciating it. That's cool. Sweet. And it's awesome that we're getting people into other sports. And I'm sure you guys, well, you got me into wrestling. You didn't get me into what? You got me watching wrestling. Let's say that.
Hey, we got Dave saying, "Damn, that's a fat person, man. Just threw that fat ass out of the ring."
Don't say that. Those are Discord commentaries. Come on. I'm more off the rails on the Discord because there's nobody watching.
Okay, the Red Wings are not the Raiders of the NHL. The Red Wings used to be the Real Madrid of the NHL, but then Ken Holland thought he was the most amazing GM ever and fucked the team up for like a decade.
So Rangers, actually, yeah, LJJ. Rangers or Islanders, since you're from New York. Islanders are from Long Island, and the Rangers are from Manhattan, if that means anything to maybe the non-North Americans. New York's big. It's big. I used to watch NHL as a kid. I was a Rangers fan. Speaking of the Rangers, they were pretty good too, 80s, 90s. They had a good team. Got to go back to watching. I got to go back to watching. It's all past my bedtime. That's the problem. And it's expensive. It's... Okay, so DAZN, it's like $220 a year. Fubo is $200 a year. The NHL network, which is like just that one hockey, and you get blackouts if that game is played on cable, whatever, it's like well over $200. It's totally not worth it. It's crap.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of happy that that is a feat that has not been done ever in a while. Besides, like when Montreal played against Montreal every single year back in the 50s. Because like remember Montreal won the cup for like 6-7 years in a row, and there's only like 8 other teams in the league.
Yeah, and they won a bunch like through the 40s. So that's the thing I've never been able to confirm, but it was once told to me, and I just jive on it because I love to hate just the Quebecers in Montreal. But yeah, because the French guys aren't as patriotic because they're more French, not English, whatever. A bunch of them didn't go to fight in the war in the 40s, and a bunch of like the Leafs and all the other English teams did. So in the 40s, the whole thing was like, yeah, the Habs are just playing against a bunch of minor leaguers. Well, everyone else went to war, and you guys are just here playing hockey against a bunch of juniors. So good job.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. The second the NHL put a salary cap in, Holland was cooked. Dave, you have to watch the most entertaining, most electrifying WrestleMania of all time.
Yeah, we'll do a watch, or you'll do the stream. You
Frankie,
Dash and Dave, guys, you'll do a stream. I'm telling you, you're doing it.
4 hours long on YouTube.
I don't do it.
I would do a post recap show, not a 4-hour stream.
Get good. I'm from Long Island, but I was a Rangers fan. Interesting.
Bowman started that dynasty. Yes, he did, Scotty Bowman. And then he also started the building of the Blackhawks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the great Blackhawks with toes. That looks like Toes with toes. His name's Toes.
Vlad coming in saying, "How did I walk into ice football talk?"
We're just because
clip. He missed the Lukaku clip.
You did,
We did. I am contractually obligated to play Vlad the Lukaku clip, at least one per stream. He missed it. He showed up.
He did miss it, and it wasn't right at the beginning this time. Vlad, you know it's past the hour mark on a Monday night. You know it's nothing but nonsense. We talk the Juve stuff a good 45 minutes to an hour. I think we lasted 55 with a couple interludes. Nice football. That would be fun. Which game was that was played in the snow?
Which one?
MLS. It was an MLS game.
Nobody cares.
No, but they were complaining. I want to say it was Miami at Salt Lake, and it was just snowing real hard because it's Miami.
Poor Messi.
Yeah.
Messi, poor baby. Holland needed to take the lead. He signed horror. Oh my God, Abdul Kader sucked ass.
I remember that guy.
Oh my goodness.
I hate that name too.
We have to stream on YouTube where we can see all our faces when Cody gets pinned.
Dave, you have the link. You have the ability. Dave has the ability to do this now, so he's going to do it.
No, it's a joke. Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Oh, it's a joke.
And then
over my head.
You just see this start going up after. Dave's wanting Cody Rhodes to finish the story, and then Roman Reigns wins, and then all of a sudden you see German Dave just start going like this.
See, this is where I get confused now because I don't know these references. That and when you talk like anime and Harry Potter and that shit, yeah, just Boomer Dave blanks out. Okay, well let's do the house cleaning here. Like and subscribe, please. Of course, because we haven't played that yet. Just like and subscribe the video so we can all get out of here before Dash plays with the soundboard again. And to kill him off completely, this is how we do it.
All right, here we go. My voice is still here. All right. Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to the day after where we did 45 to 47 minutes of actual Juve talk. So if you're just joining in, rewind the show, head back over there. You can rewatch it again. Get that spill before we completely go off the rails on the second segment and whine about why the Red Wings are currently a dumpster fire, just like Juve. But anyways, guys, like and subscribe if you want us to cover some more sports. We can go a little bit more in depth in hockey because Dave and I are a bunch of Goonies like that. And follow through on Wednesday with the Tinfoil Hat Show.
Tinfoil in it. Wednesday, same time, guys. 5:30 Eastern, 10:30 Central European time because the times are switching a little bit off for the next couple weeks. And why West? We talked about why West is the best. That's why you're going to go back and watch it, right? All right, guys. Love you all. See you Wednesday.